Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Day-Glo Buffalo and this is Let's Play Kathy Rain, A Detective is Born. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this game. It is from 2016, I believe, but it is in that indie retro adventure game kind of aesthetic. But, well, I came across it on GOG a while back and I bought it, so, well, I thought that now might be a good time to give it a try. So, without much further ado, let's go and start a game.
Hey, you.
Hey. Oh, man. Oh, God, this is so comfy. I'm just gonna lie here and suffocate on my own vomit now.
I had a thing I wanted to tell you.
Uh-huh. This room sure looks different when it's spinning.
So, I was browsing through the used book ads in the paper when
Listen, Eileen, I'm totally excited about books right now, but...
Wait, hear me out! So, I noticed this article about a war veteran from Conwell Springs who just died. I remembered that you used to live there and everything, and...
Oh, how I wish for joyful, blissful sleep.
And get this! His name was Joseph. Joseph Rain.
What did you just say?
You knew him, right? I knew it! I knew you'd know him.
So let's see. He was my grandfather. I really don't want to talk about it. I haven't seen him since I was a kid, a lifetime ago.
I haven't seen him since I was a kid. A lifetime ago. Hey, wait a minute. I never told you where I grew up.
Oh, well, I might have sort of looked you up.
That is not cool, Eileen. Seriously.
I just couldn't help myself.
Well, one of these days you're gonna help yourself to a restraining order. I'm just telling you this as a friend.
I know. Well, anyway, you should know that the funeral is tomorrow.
Okay.
Are you gonna go?
I don't know. Good night, Eileen.
Good night, Kathy.
So September 25th, 1995, day one.
Oh, God, make it stop.
Don't we all love alarm clocks? So we can look or turn off the alarm clock.
Eileen's obnoxious alarm clock. The noise makes me want to stab myself with something dull.
You know, it's not so much the noise that makes me want to stab myself with something dull, it's the fact that you have to get up that makes me want to stab myself. Or the fact that you get woken up. That's the bad
Looks
part.
like Eileen left a note for me here. Hi, Kat. Since it's such a long drive, I set the alarm so you won't miss the funeral. Thank me later. E. I'm so getting a new roommate. Well, I guess I should get going. I'm late enough as it is.
Well, it was very considerate of her. Even though I don't think Kathy at any point ever said that she actually wanted to go. So what we can do though is press space. Wow, there's a fair amount of stuff we can interact with in this room.
Eileen's obnoxious alarm clock. The noise...
We already did the alarm clock, so
Eileen's
let's see.
schedule. There's a note for today. Set alarm clock for Kathy. Can't have her miss the funeral.
She is so organized that she organizes other people's lives.
Looks handcrafted. Probably something she made in woodworking class. Well, either her or one of her 12 siblings.
Wow, 13 kids. Yikes.
Honestly, she can believe in what she wants as long as she doesn't try to shove it down my throat. That movie's not out yet. It's a promo poster Eileen got for being an extra. She tells everyone who walks in here the same joke. Spoiler alert, the boat sinks.
Fancy calling it a boat.
I'm fairly sure it's about some guy who falls in love with his golden retriever.
Oh, that kind of movie.
I think that movie is about a girl and a boy who hate each other at first and then they fall in love for no reason at all. Oh, wait. That's every romantic comedy ever.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. So it's just like every other movie. So...
Eileen makes her bed with surgical precision.
just like Kathy does.
Would be fun, but a bit too childish, even for me.
Okay, what else?
Eileen's girly suitcase. There's a sticker on it with her full name, Eileen Mildred Summers. Mildred! Oh my god, I'm gonna get her for that. I wish I could wrap up that fact and save it for Christmas.
What's wrong with Mildred? So, we got closet, a mirror, and a bear.
Eileen's closet, filled to the brink with inherited clothes and Christian joy. I can certainly see the appeal of blindly rummaging through Eileen's clothes, but seriously, I've got better things to do.
Well, this is an adventure game, so we always have to check.
Makeup check, hair check, horrible mood, and contempt for humanity check.
But considering that she just rolled out of bed, that's not bad.
We meet again, Mr. Bear. Don't give me that look. It's not my fault you ended up so close to my lighter.
Well, at least he's out of reach now. So, that's all of Eileen's stuff, I believe. We get a printer.
Color printer. Super fancy, apparently. A fact which Eileen loves to remind me of.
Well, a color printer in 1995 is relatively fancy. I mean, probably the first inkjet printer started to come around that time, but yeah, well, especially for what I presume is a college student.
Eileen borrowed it from school. She takes a bunch of computer classes.
Apparently a college student who doesn't even own her own computer.
I'm no geek, but I know how to use one. A computer, that is, not a geek.
I guess that was necessary to point out. Scanner.
It's some advanced scanner thingy. It can scan pictures, tapes, all sorts of stuff.
Tapes. Like audio tapes? Well, probably not, but... So, phone...
Our room phone. It's got an external line.
Like you'd think, because otherwise you'd only be calling people in your dorm. I don't know how useful that would be. Oh, so we can...
Just a phone. Just a phone.
The number or code you've dialed is incorrect. Please check the number or code and try again.
So we've got our contacts, but only our own room isn't a contact, so it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to call that. And I take it this is our inventory.
I haven't written anything in it yet. I'll write down clues in this as I find them.
Oh.
I don't think anything about that needs to be written down.
Oh, so if we combined a notebook with something else, she may write down notes. Interesting.
NZ 500 self-defense stun gun. Fully charged. A girl can never be too safe.
Well, I don't think we can combine it with anything.
My trusty Zippo, running a bit low on fuel. There's a crude inscription, BH, which is a mystery to me. The only thing my deadbeat dad left me.
Okay.
My smoke's about a half a pack.
Does that say Corley on the cigarettes? Could be. Well, that would be a Full Throttle reference then. Nice.
Started when I was 12 and never looked back. Pretty much the only thing keeping me sane.
Wow. Picking up smoking at 12. Can we combine it with a lighter?
I prefer to smoke outdoors.
Okay. Never mind. So what else can we look at?
Messy, just the way I like it. Nah, I just got up. Just some random band poster. Pulp Fiction. Love that flick. The Thing. One of my favorite horror movies.
Well, more of an alien guy myself, but alright. And electric guitar, which appears to be some kind of super strat.
My electric guitar. Got it cheap from a lesbian I met at a concert. Good times. Helped me get rid of my last two roommates.
She plays that well, apparently. Although I don't see an amp, so unless it's maybe on this side of the room, but you know, without an amp, you know, it's not that easy to get rid of people playing electric guitar because it's hard to hear, especially a solid body like that.
Nah, it's no fun when there's no one around to annoy with it.
All right, enough overthinking about guitars. I think we looked at everything we could in this room. Can't open that door or look in the drawers. Apparently there's nothing to pick up in here, so I guess let's head out the door. Yeah, here we have Kathy driving her motorcycle at what seems a fairly leisurely pace. Anyway, through the cornfields. And we can head to the cemetery, so let's do that. Oh, now she speeds up.
Well, here we are. God, I really need a smoke. Does anyone object? Guess not. Dead people rule.
All right. Oh, lots of tombstones we can look at.
No time for that now. I'm late for the funeral.
You just stop to smoke. If you're late, you don't take a smoke break.
We are gathered here today to honor a person of great integrity, a pillar of the community, and a decorated war hero. His name was Joseph Irving Rain. We all remember his warm heart, his compassion, and his eagerness to help others. His passing, while our loss, is surely heaven's gain. Now we entrust our brother Joseph to God's mercy. We commit his body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, in sure and certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life through our Lord Jesus Christ, who will transform our frail bodies so they may be conformed to his glorious body, who died, was buried, and rose again for us. To him be glory forever. Amen.
Oh, Kathy, you big baby, just talk to her.
Miss Rain, I'm guessing that's Grandma?
The coffin is lowered, but the grave hasn't been filled up yet. Rest in peace, Grandpa. I wish things could have been different. Mary Elizabeth Rain, my grandmother on my father's side. Excuse me? Mrs. Rain?
Have we met, Anna? You look strangely familiar.
It's me. It's Catherine.
Catherine who?
You don't recognize me? I guess it's been a while. I might be a bit taller than you remember me.
Kathy? Bless my soul. Look at you all grown up. Oh, how I wish Joseph could see you now finally coming home.
Let's hope he can. Wherever he is.
A comforting thought, dear. Lord, how long has it been? 10 years? 15?
15 sounds about right. I was 6 when Mom took me away.
Goodness, we have some catching up to do then. I want to know everything. Listen, I'm not quite ready to leave yet, but why don't you join me at the house in half an hour?
Sure, I'd love to. I passed it on my way here. It shouldn't be too hard to find.
I'll see you soon then. I'm so glad you found your way back home. I can't wait for us to have a chance to talk.
Same here. See you in a bit.
So new location added, so I guess if we go back to the bike, we can now go to the house. So... Joseph Irving Rain, March 17th, 1924 to September 18th, 1995.
Conwell Springs. Looks smaller than I remember it. I never thought I'd return to this place.
Elizabeth Parker. Eric Mitchell, so I guess that's just a bunch of names around here. Lily Myers, the mausoleum.
It says Price. A family mausoleum. The family must have been fairly rich. Those things don't come cheap. No reason to go in there.
Fair enough. Stephen Cummings. Oh, hello. That's the priest.
I am sorry for your loss.
Thanks.
If you wish to find God, the Church of the Holy Trinity is always open to you.
Is that so?
Here, have a brochure. It's never too late to turn away from the path of sin.
Okay. Not sure what he's not sure. Not sure I like what he's implying there. Makes you so sure that I'm a sinful path, Father, exactly. You familiar with the concept of a lost cause? Are you? No sin, but what am I supposed to do for fun?
And what makes you so sure I'm on a sinful path, Father? Wouldn't you say that prejudice is but a small step from the 7 big ones?
I simply meant that we are all sinful creatures, child. I hope to see you at the church.
Don't get your hopes up, buddy.
I'll pray for you. I wish you comfort in this time of grief.
You know, I mean, it might just be me, but I find recruiting for your religion in general to be in bad taste. To do so at a funeral? Doubly so. So, off to see Grandma.
Grandma, anybody home?
And it started to rain. There's a lot of stuff we can interact with, look at.
There's nothing quite like the soothing sound of rain falling on a window. A mere single pair of boots on display. Boy, do we live in different worlds.
I take it she has lots of pairs of boots on display?
Nice black leather coat. Right up my alley.
What's the red horse?
Cute red horse. It's some old Swedish thing, I think.
Ah, interesting. I believe the developer is Swedish of this game.
This paint looks fresh. Grandma must have had this restored recently.
So, okay, we can look at the ceiling lamp.
A lamp on the ceiling. Nothing special about it.
It's a ceiling lamp.
Dog fighting. Grandpa used to love that stuff.
Okay, there's upstairs. Like, oh, she goes upstairs.
I shouldn't overstay my welcome.
That seems sensible, considering that nobody knows you're here yet.
An old wheelchair. Not too dusty. Probably used recently. Huh. Never seen this around. Grandpa must have used it towards the end.
All right. Table lamp.
A small table lamp.
Okay, well, apparently we can look at the lamps in this game, and they have fairly generic descriptions.
A wedding photo from when my grandparents married. They look younger than I am now. Things have sure changed. It's a photo of this very farm from way back. It says June 12, 1910 in the corner.
Wow.
Some kind of winter forest scene. I've always wondered if it's supposed to be Conwell Woods or not.
So we got Conwell Springs surrounded by Conwell Woods. Look at phone and phone book.
These should come in handy when I need to make calls.
Phones usually do. So I take it we can look.
It's a phone book, Conwell Springs County. I should be able to use this for looking up phone numbers of people or places in town.
Really? Well, considering that phone books tend to be fairly, or at least I know I don't use phone books as much as I used to anymore. So it might be good to remind people what phone books were actually for. So we looked at everything there was to look at. So we can go next door, I guess. And
Oh, hello, dear. I was just wondering what took you so long.
Sorry, I couldn't resist taking that old wheelchair for a spin. Oh, don't give me that look. I put it back.
You haven't changed one bit. Always kidding around, just like when you were little. Come, have a seat. We have so much to talk about. So, now, tell me about your life in the city.
Oh, there's not much to tell. I'm going to school for journalism. It's my second year. I ride a motorcycle in case you missed it there out front.
Ah, that's right. Just like your father.
Yeah, I suppose.
I must ask, have you heard anything from your father? Anything at all?
No, nothing since he bailed way back then.
I expected as much. He disappeared without a trace. No matter, that's ancient history. How's Sharon then?
so her dad didn't just leave, he disappeared without a trace, not only to his, what I presume, well, his child and the mother of his child, but also to his parents. That's interesting. Full scorched earth, huh? Tell the truth, you had her committed to a mental institution. Avoid the subject, no reason to bring it up now. Oh well, it's grandma, I guess, but Well, especially because I'd like to hear the story for context to understand what has been going on.
Mom is. I had her committed to a place where she could get some real help. I just couldn't take it anymore.
I'm sorry to hear that. In spite of everything that happened when she took you away.
Yeah, about that. I'm sorry I didn't visit sooner, Grandma. Mom, she told me all these horrible lies about you and Grandpa. When I was old enough to understand what she was doing, I felt like it was much too late.
It wasn't your fault, dear. You were a child. I'm just happy that you're here now.
Me too. So, what about you? How have you been doing all these years?
I've been lonely ever since the accident. There's no denying that.
What accident?
Goodness gracious. Of course you don't know. She took you away before it all happened.
Don't know what.
I will never forget that dreadful day. August 16th, 1981. It was the middle of the night when Sheriff Truman knocked on our door. He had Joseph with him. I couldn't even recognize Joseph at first. All dirty and wet with an awful blank stare on his face, like his soul had been ripped from his body. Since that day, he never spoke a word, forever confined to that blasted wheelchair.
Really? For all this time? I had no idea.
It came as a shock to all of us.
That's horrible, Grandma. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, dear.
So, wow, in 81, so 14 years that he has apparently... So he hasn't said anything, and he was confined to the wheelchair.
Why do you think Grandpa suddenly left that night in 81?
I haven't the faintest idea. He acted very peculiar not long before it happened, disappearing for hours at a time. At first, I even suspected he was having an affair. When I asked him about it, he just said he was chasing old demons. It must have had something to do with the war.
Oh, PTSD? What did the doctor say? What about the police?
Maybe it was post-traumatic stress disorder? Grandpa always had a hard time showing weakness.
I don't know, dear. I'm just speculating. I didn't think too much of it at the time. Joseph was a man of few words. I'm sure he just didn't wish to burden me with it, whatever it was.
What did the doctors have to say about Grandpa's condition?
Persistent vegetative state. That's what they call it. I've heard it all by now. One doctor said it was a stroke. Another claimed it was a seizure. The third hack tried to sell it off as a severe infection. It's all a load of tripe. I had an MRI performed on Joseph. It's one of those state-of-the-art head scans.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yes, well, according to the scan, his brain was completely intact. They thought it was a technical problem at the time, some kind of glitch, but the result was the same after 3 different scans on 3 different machines. Eventually, they had to confess that they simply had no credible explanation for the state he was in.
And this injury just happened to occur on the very same night he mysteriously disappears?
Indeed. I refuse to believe it was a coincidence.
Well, obviously something happened to him while he was disappeared.
What did Sheriff Truman have to say about the matter?
Not much. He said they simply found Joseph in that condition on the outskirts of town. The sheriff was convinced there was some kind of foul play involved, but the investigation turned up nothing. He later said that he was sorry, but that he was forced to close the case.
You know, I could try to find out more about this.
You're welcome to try, dear. Some kind of closure would mean the world to me.
Okay, I think I'll head over to the sheriff's station for a little chat then. Would be nice to witness police doing some actual police service for once.
Sure, you go ahead. Let me know if I can be of any more help.
So, well, one question would be, how long was he gone for? Because, you know, he disappeared and then showed up again in this vegetative state. But how long was he gone for? Anyway, so we asked about the incident. We can ask about the stuff in our inventory.
What do you think about this church, Grandma?
They seem harmless to me, but they can be a bit pushy at times.
Huh, you could say that. Handing out pamphlets at funerals is in pretty bad taste.
That's what I said.
Strange behavior for a priest, I'll give you that.
Well, Kathy and I agree.
I don't want to show her that.
Okay.
I don't want to show her that.
Well, it's something you got from your dad, so... You know, maybe she has some information about what BH means.
I don't want to show her that. She'll just start worrying about me. I don't want to show her that.
Okay. So... Well, I guess that's all the conversation options here.
Well, gotta go, Grams. Talk to you later.
Bye, Kathy.
Well, we can explore the room, but I think we will do that in the next part. So for now, I'll thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like or a comment below. Subscribe to stay up to date, and I will see you in the next part. So until then, have a good one.